Hello and good day, welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 46. Let's get started now. The Book of Ezekiel, chapter 46, provides insight into the instructions God gave to the prophet Ezekiel concerning the temple, sacrifices, and worship. This chapter contains detailed instructions about the offerings, celebrations, and worship protocols that should be observed in the temple. In the first 3 verses, Ezekiel is instructed about the gate of the inner court that should be closed on 6 days of the week, but opened on the Sabbath and the day of the new moon. The prince, who is presumably a leader in Israel, should enter and exit through this gate to worship and make sacrifices to God. Verse 4 describes the burnt offering that should be presented to God on the Sabbath day. It consists of 6 lambs, a ram, and a grain offering. The purpose of the burnt offering is to signify the complete dedication and surrender of the worshipper to God. In verse 5, Ezekiel is given instructions for a grain offering that should be presented every Sabbath day. The grain offering is to be made up of 1/6 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil. The purpose of the grain offering is to express gratitude to God for His provision and blessings. Verses 6 and 7 provide instructions for a burnt offering and a grain offering that should be presented on the day of the new moon. The burnt offering should consist of a young bull, 6 lambs, and a ram, while the grain offering should be 1/6 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil. Verse 8 describes the offerings that should be presented by the prince when he enters the temple. He should present a burnt offering consisting of a young bull and 6 lambs, as well as a grain offering of 1/6 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil. Verses 9 and 10 give instructions for the offerings that should be presented during the various feasts and festivals of the year. These offerings include a burnt offering, a grain offering, and a drink offering. These offerings are given to commemorate significant events in Israel's history and to show gratitude for God's goodness. In verses 11 to 15, Ezekiel is instructed on the measurement of the courts and gates of the temple. These instructions provide a detailed layout of the temple to ensure that the worship protocols are followed correctly. The teaching application of this chapter is that God desires proper worship and devotion from His people. The detailed instructions given to Ezekiel regarding the offerings and protocols in the temple signify that God is holy and deserves our complete surrender and obedience. This chapter reminds us that worship should be intentional and done in a manner that is pleasing to God. Additionally, it highlights the importance of remembering significant events in our spiritual journey and expressing gratitude to God for His blessings. Overall, the Book of Ezekiel, chapter 46, is a reminder that God desires our complete devotion and surrender in our worship. It teaches us the importance of intentional and meaningful worship and provides insight into the protocols and offerings that should be followed to express our gratitude and reverence to God. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.